Welcome to the party, pal. Your friendly neighborhood master Chaos back with you once again. I hope this video has found you well. Sending peace and love your way. Today, part 4 of my upside down look at the SHAWSCOPE box set. This is my deep dive into this massive undertaking that Arrow has presented us with. Volume 1, I should add, of an already announced 3-volume collection. Volume 2 is coming out, I believe, well, as of the recording of this video, I think June. So we have a lot more to expect from Shaw. I mean, they made hundreds and hundreds of movies, so the 12 in here are certainly only going to scratch the surface. Not even scratch the surface. Maybe just like lick the surface a little bit. SHAWSCOPE Volume 1, Part 4. We're talking more of the same. Sweaty guys punching and kicking each other. But are they good movies? You'll have to stick around to find out.
Back from the dead.
Disc 5 brings us Challenge of the Masters and Executioners from Shaolin. 2 movies that, in my estimation, are almost indistinguishable from each other. And that's not always a good thing. Let's start with Challenge of the Masters, which kicks off our disc here, and we'll break down the plot. Challenge of the Masters runs 1 hour and 37 minutes. And here we have yet another rival schools kung fu movie. This one, however, failed to connect with me. It's another one of those movies that considers training montages the same as plot progression and story development. Gordon Liu plays the son of a famous kung fu master, and for some reason his father has refused to pass on his teachings to his son, despite running his own kung fu school. So Gordon Liu decides to seek out his father's teacher, and the teacher decides to take him on, and they head off into the woods to spend 2 years training and learning martial arts. Meanwhile, a friend of his is murdered by the leader of a rival school, and once our hero has become an expert at his skill, he faces off against the film's villain, who is played here by the film's director himself, Lau Kar-lung. This subplot, because honestly that's really what it is solved fairly easily. The movie is really more interested in focusing on this overly complicated fireworks ritual where the different kung fu schools compete to see who can get the most fireworks, and those with the most fireworks have good luck or something. It's a Chinese thing and I honestly don't get it. It's just weird to me that they spend so much time on the training, the punching, the kicking, the sticks and the trees and all the fucking things, only to have it abandoned for this fireworks crap. It's almost as if the script was written by 8 different guys because it's such a mess. And I know I'm harping on the script stuff, but that's where my point of reference is on scripting. That when I watch a movie, that's what I focus on. Some people just like, oh, yeah, I like the kicks. It was cool to watch people kick each other. Then that's fine. But I specifically myself, go deeper. This might not affect anybody else, but I just thought, fuck, man, he's good. He's fucking good. We spent 45 minutes watching him kick stuff. He's fine. Move on. What is the story here? Speaking of the fights, there were only 2 good standout battles, and both of them featured Lau Kar-lung. The rest of the action was fairly forgettable, to be honest. The messy script really bothered me, and there is no challenge of the masters ever. There's not a thing that happens. I mean, I know that's just a titling thing, and titles don't necessarily mean anything, especially when it comes to international films. But man, what a bummer. There's so much promise. I love Gordon Liu. I think he's an amazing fighter. I think he's a very, very talented performer. Lau Kar-lung is one of my favorite Hong Kong filmmakers, especially of this era. But this one was a dud. By the way, both of these movies are early on in Lau Kar-lung's career. Tony Raines will tell us about that in the special features. Challenge of the Masters was his 2nd film. Executioners is his 3rd film. So it's early on in his career, but I mean, he's been choreographing for almost a decade at this point, I believe. So the fights are okay. The direction is okay. Honestly, it's the script that really lets the movie down. And even at a short running time, I mean, this isn't one of those 2-hour, bloated things like some of these other ones. It's 90 minutes, but it feels very bloated because there's really no story here, and that's unfortunate for me. So this is a 1-star title as far as I'm concerned. I can only give it 1 star, and that's me being very, very nice. Only because I love the fights with Lau Kar-lung and Gordon Liu. That was fantastic stuff, really fun to watch. Let's talk about the special features. now because I believe both of them have almost the exact same thing, although one of them might have something different. But I'll break that all down for you right now. Tony Raines returns to discuss Lau Kar Lung since we're dealing with his second and third features here, so it's nice to get a crash course in his career in general. This runs about 28 minutes and it's an absolute must. Then we get an interview with Gordon Liu. This runs about 20 minutes and it's nice to catch up with him a little later in life and have him discuss his career. I enjoyed that quite a bit. What I enjoyed quite a bit more than Challenge of the Masters was Executioners from Shaolin. There's a lot happening in Executioners from Shaolin. There's a lot of layers to it. There's a lot of interplay between the sexes. There's a lot to be said about metaphor in this movie. Probably too much, and I'm not going to beleaguer the point on it, but I will say that this is a very interestingly made movie. Is it great? No. Is it terrible? No. It's very enjoyable and very unique, and it has elements in here that you wouldn't expect. Here we get yet another Shaolin Temple versus the Manchurian Army storyline, but this one's quite insane because the other ones didn't feature a bad guy with a black hole crotch. You heard me correctly, black hole crotch, more on that later. This movie makes a crucial mistake for me in the first 20 minutes because it introduces so many characters, and I'm going to be real with you, they kind of all look the same, and at least this reviewer couldn't help but feeling lost in a mishmash of flailing arms. The only real standout in the beginning here is Gordon Liu, who has an amazing fight. It's organic and real and doesn't feel choreographed and rehearsed to death. He's one of the best and brings real, genuine talent. Unfortunately, he does not hang around with the rest of the movie. Han Si-Guan is our hero here, and he is the leader of the rebels opposing the Manchu army. His quest for vengeance against the evil priest Bai Mei causes him to neglect his son Wen Ding, who grows up learning crane style just like his mother. And here's when we get into the weird kind of gray area sexual politics thing, which I'm not fully going to unpack here, but just know that there's a lot of that going on. Apparently, crane style is considered an effeminate form of martial arts, and the filmmakers decide to do something interesting here, and they make Wen Ding effeminate because of his training. There's a lot to be said about the old-fashioned view that if you learn a female martial art that it turns you into a female of sorts, but honestly, that's a topic I'm not willing to broach right now. Needless to say, there's a lot to be said about the sexual undertones of this entire film, but this review is only going to be concerned with if it was a fun movie or not. Running 1 hour and 40 minutes, the film is fun, but it does drag its feet quite a bit, and we still have scripting issues where the focus of the hero keeps changing, and we really don't know who to root for or what exactly is happening.
Last time I gave a shit, I got fucked! Oh, shit! Oh!
Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just watching these movies in a different way, but like I said, these reviews are going to be coming from a layperson, somebody who doesn't consider themselves a kung fu expert, a Shaw Brothers expert, completely coming in as a layperson with almost no contextualization than some people would be coming in already knowing these movies, loving these movies. I've seen a handful of them, but I'm not an expert. So this is just, like I said, my blue-collar impression of these movies from somebody who makes this kind of stuff. That, of course, is where I butt heads with Shaw Brothers because their scripts are messy. The main problem with this movie is that we get a shift in who the main character is. You know, Han Si-Guan is our main guy, and then he disappears for a while, then Wen Ding becomes our main guy, and then we follow Wen Ding's journey. And then, I haven't even really spoken about Bai Mei the priest. That is a whole other can of wax. By the way, 2 stars. I'm giving this one 2 stars. I liked it. I didn't love it. I feel it could have been better. I felt it was a little too long. Again, it was another movie that really spent so much fucking time on training. It's almost insane. Like, they have this training fetish or something. You know, Rocky trained for 4 minutes, and we got it, man. Imagine if that Rocky montage went on for like 40 minutes. After a while, you'd be like, okay, man, he's fucking good. Can we go? Can we continue with this thing? I got a life to live here. Let me talk about Bai Mei. Bai Mei is the white-haired priest who, of course, inspired Tarantino down the line for Kill Bill. Here, he has a very special move where his balls disappear, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's a eunuch. It's very unclear. I believe he's a eunuch, and if you kick him in the nuts, he can. I'm not even kidding. This happens in the movie. He can suck your foot in and trap you there, like clench you in, like he has a giant vagina, and he can suck your foot in and trap you there And that's how he defeats you, with his black hole crotch. That's amazing. I get to star just for that. What the fuck? Why is that in this movie? This doesn't make any sense. I'm going to be real with you. I'm probably going to forget about both of these movies by tomorrow. They're very, very forgettable. One featurette that is exclusive to the Executioner from Shaolin side of the disc is an interview with Chen Quan-tai. This runs about 17 minutes. This is the second half of the interview that he did with actor Steven Zay, who moderates, and it covers more of his filmography, and it's nice to check back in with him. Chen Quan-tai was Hong Ziguan in The Executioner from Shaolin, and he's also, of course, the boxer from Shangtung. There you go, Disc 5, Part 4. That's a wrap. While I didn't love these movies, I didn't hate them. But I think if you're watching this to get an opinion as to whether you should get this or not, number one, do you like kung fu movies? Have you seen a lot of Shaw Brothers stuff? If you have, this is a no-brainer upgrade. But if you're not a big fan of watching people fighting and training, then I would say it's probably not for you. I'm hoping the next 4 films on here, the last 4 movies I have to tackle here, are going to be rewarding and fun and unique, and something I can give you my thumbs up, 5-star thoughts on in the next 2 installments. So let's call it a day for now. Thank you so much for watching. My friend, I love you very much. I hope you're well. Please do me a favor, subscribe. If you haven't already, that means you and I get to keep in touch, talk movies. Remember, this is the home for the most eclectic movie reviews on YouTube. I cover everything. Shaw Brothers, Criterion, Vinegar Syndrome, movies in theaters. I just had Scream Week fairly recently. Most eclectic home for movie reviews on YouTube. That's my motto. That's what I'm doing right now. I hope you'll stick around, because you'll never know what you're going to get here on Mastercast TV. I love you very much. Take care of yourselves. Signing off for now.